Welcome back, everybody. We are diving into Exodus chapter 10 today,
Oh, Exodus 10.
which is
This is a good one.
it's intense.
It is.
Power struggles, stubbornness.
Consequences.
Yeah, and you know what? It's an ancient story, but
Yeah,
it's got stuff that's relevant to today.
absolutely. I mean, this is really when we see those human struggles come out,
Yeah.
especially with leadership.
Yeah.
Pharaoh grappling with his pride and holding on to power when
Yeah.
it's causing harm to
Yeah.
himself and to others.
Well, he gets so close to
That's
understanding,
just-
but then just digs
Yeah.
his heels in deeper.
Absolutely.
So for those of you just joining us,
Yeah,
the Israelites are still enslaved in Egypt.
right.
God's sending these plagues to try to persuade Pharaoh
Uh-huh.
to let him go.
Yeah,
And in Exodus 10, things get real.
they do. We've got some big plagues here.
Yeah.
The locusts
The locusts.
devouring every plant.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's awful. Then that thick darkness that covers the land for days.
I can imagine.
I mean, the despair,
Yes.
that would have been unbelievable.
And the Israelites,
Yes.
they're protected from both.
They are.
What's that tell us?
Right. What does that say about faith?
Yeah, faith in the face of
When things are rough.
overwhelming challenges.
Yeah. I think it shows that staying true to your values and holding on to hope,
Mm-hmm.
even when things are dark,
Yeah.
that gives you strength.
Resilience.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Mhm.
And Pharaoh, he's trying to bargain with God the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
He's making all these partial compromises.
Oh, yeah, the partial obedience.
He says he'll let the men go,
Uh-huh.
but he wants to keep the women and children
As hostages.
in Egypt.
It's unbelievable.
The audacity?
And God says, nope,
Nope,
not having it.
not good enough.
Full liberation
Full liberation,
for all the Israelites.
including their livestock.
Yes,
I think it's a profound statement
I do too.
about how true freedom can only come from complete liberation,
Absolutely.
not some sort of
Yeah.
slightly longer leash.
Not just a little bit better.
Yeah. Have you ever settled
Oh, of course.
for a partial solution
I mean, who hasn't?
at work or in a relationship
Right.
or even within yourself?
Exactly.
Have you noticed how those compromises never really
Right.
lead to anything good?
They don't bring that satisfaction
Yeah.
or lasting change.
No, and this whole theme of partial obedience,
Mm-hmm.
like he's coming up with Pharaoh.
Yes.
When the plagues get bad, he begs for forgiveness.
I'll let them go.
I'll do anything.
But as soon as things get a little better,
the pressure eases up,
back to square one.
his heart hardens again.
Every time.
And the whole cycle just starts over.
It really does.
It's almost as if
very
he
slow.
can't learn
It's frustrating.
from his mistakes.
Yeah, you want to tell him.
You just want to shake him and say,
Listen, what are you doing?
pay attention.
Right.
This stubbornness.
But you know what?
It's not just Pharaoh.
This is something we see all the time.
That's true.
Think about a leader you've dealt with
Yeah.
who just refused to listen to reason,
Oh.
so fixated on their own agenda.
Yeah.
How did that affect you?
Yeah. What did you learn from that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this human flaw.
I think it is.
We cling to our limited perspective.
Yes.
Even when
when it's hurting us.
it's clearly causing problems.
Mm-hmm.
Exodus 10 really paints a picture
Does.
of the consequences
Yes.
of that kind of decision making,
Absolutely.
both personally
Yeah.
and for society.
Yes. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It really is.
Well, it's not just hurting Pharaoh.
Right?
These plagues,
All of Egypt.
they're wreaking havoc
It's a mess.
on all of Egypt.
It shows us that our choices matter.
Yeah.
Even the small ones.
They have ripple effects
They affect everyone.
on everyone,
That's
on the world around us.
yeah.
That's huge.
It is a big deal. And then there's that plague of darkness.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just no light.
Right.
It's deeper.
It's symbolic of something.
Spiritual and emotional darkness. It's
Yeah.
what happens when you turn away from truth,
Yeah.
from compassion, from what's good.
You can feel it in the story.
Yes.
That darkness.
That heaviness.
It's oppressive,
Yeah. I
suffocating,
feel lost.
isolating.
Confused. But you know what's interesting?
Like,
The Israelites have light.
well, everyone else is in the dark.
Yeah.
It's a powerful image.
Isn't it?
It makes you think
About,
faith,
yeah,
community.
that inner strength.
Right.
Right. Even when
everything's falling apart.
the world feels dark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It shows you that staying connected to what you believe in your
Yeah.
community, that spark of hope,
Yeah.
that's powerful.
It is. And it's interesting how through all this,
God keeps protecting the Israelites.
he does. He provides for them.
Even as the Egyptians are suffering.
Yes.
It's like this reassurance.
Like, you're not alone,
Yeah.
even though it's hard. There's
Yeah.
something bigger.
Looking out for
Yeah.
those who are trying to do right,
Yes.
to stay true to their values.
It's not about getting a reward.
Right.
It's about understanding
Yeah.
that making good choices
Yeah.
leads to a better life
A harmonious life.
for everyone.
Yeah.
A fulfilling life.
Like you're building
Fulfilling what?
this foundation of light,
I like that.
this inner strength
Yes.
to help you weather the storms.
That's important.
Today. It is. We
Yeah.
face our own challenges,
You do.
temptations to make the wrong choices.
Choices based on fear,
Yeah.
greed, selfishness.
How do we avoid that?
How do we not fall into those traps?
I think it comes down to
What?
being aware
Of our choices.
of our choices.
Every day.
Are we acting with integrity?
Even when it's tough.
Yeah. Are we listening to advice?
Even when we don't like it.
Even when it's uncomfortable?
Yes.
Are we standing up
For what's right.
to injustice?
Even when it's scary.
It's like we're always being tested
I think you're right.
to choose light or darkness.
And the more you choose the light,
Yeah.
the stronger you get.
That inner compass.
That feeling of knowing what's right.
It's not just personal, though.
What do you mean?
It's about working together
Oh, I see.
to create systems,
Yeah.
structure
In our communities.
that support ethical decision,
That help everyone.
not just a few,
Yeah. We need to demand better.
from those in power.
Transparency.
Integrity,
Seed and passion.
compassion,
Fairness.
those should be our values.
Absolutely.
So we each have a responsibility.
To play our part. To make the world better.
A more just world.
More equitable.
More equitable.
Yeah. We might not be able to part the Red Sea,
Right.
but we can make good choices.
Every day.
Every day.
That lead to a better future. Even small acts of kindness,
Yes.
courage,
They matter.
they can inspire others.
To do the same.
It creates a ripple effect,
It does.
shifting things towards the light.
It's a beautiful image.
It is.
Even in the darkness.
There's hope.
Little acts of light.
They multiply.
Illuminate the path.
Yeah.
That's where the power is.
Want force,
Yeah.
not manipulation.
Truth.
A vision of a better world.
Where everyone can thrive.
That's something worth working towards.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is worth it. Exodus 10.
It's amazing.
It gives us this roadmap
For what?
for navigating life,
Yeah.
for making tough choices.
Yeah.
Choices that lead to
Wow.
freedom, fulfillment,
Mhm.
not just for us,
For everyone.
but for everyone around us.
It reminds us that
Right there.
these stories.
These ancient stories,
Wow.
they aren't just old tales. They're
But-
not. They're guides for living
Yeah.
full of wisdom.
They're still relevant today.
Yeah. Yeah. The plagues, Pharaoh's stubbornness,
The consequences.
humility.
Listening to advice.
Yeah, what are the main takeaways?
What do you want people to remember?
What do you hope our listeners
After this deep dive,
walk away with
that we all have choices
Yeah.
every day.
every day?
And those choices matter.
They do.
They can lead us to freedom.
Or trap us
Yes.
in suffering.
In those cycles of despair.
And these choices,
They affect everyone.
they have an impact
On everyone around
on the
them.
world.
Yeah.
It's like we each have
Hello?
our own inner Pharaoh.
Oh, I like that.
We're always tempted
To hold on too tight.
to cling to power, control.
To our own way of seeing things.
But Exodus shows us
What does it show us?
true liberation
Yes.
for ourselves and for society
It comes from
requires humility,
compassion.
letting go of.
That need to be right.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not. It's a process.
It is.
But Pharaoh's story,
What about it?
it's a warning.
It's a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
It shows what happens.
When we choose pride,
Stubbornness.
refusal to listen,
Even those in power.
it's sobering.
It is.
But what?
There's still hope.
There is.
Even when we mess up.
We all make mistakes.
There's a way back.
To the light.
We can learn.
We can grow.
Choose differently.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it gives us permission
To what?
to be imperfect.
We're all on a journey.
To acknowledge that.
And sometimes we stumble.
But we can course correct.
We can get back on track.
We can choose a better path.
A more compassionate path.
So as we wrap up
Our deep dive.
this deep dive into Exodus 10,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with this.
Yeah.
What choices are you making
In your own life.
that are contributing to darkness or light?
Oh, wow.
Are you holding on too tight?
Are you open to letting go? Are you listening to advice?
Even when it's hard.
Even when it challenges you?
Are you shutting people out?
Because the answers
To those questions,
they matter.
they affect your life,
They affect the lives.
of those around you.
We're all in this together.
We are.
We could support each other,
We can share our stories
offer a helping hand,
and create a world.
where everyone can flourish.
Beautiful.
That's the power of Exodus 10.
It challenges us.
It inspires us
It reminds us
that even in darkness,
the human spirit is strong.
it has this capacity
For love,
for hope.
for change.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep seeking the light,